Can you hear me? How many times did I say that? Okay, here we are. So we are here. So we started a little bit late sometimes these days because I'm live at the theater again, and we are on our dinner break, and sometimes it gets out a little bit later than 5. But we are here. We are live. We are good to go. Actors everywhere. So we're on a break right now for dinner, and I just wanted to kind of do our Facebook Live. I might kind of move around because I want to make sure that I'm not disturbing anyone, because everyone's working really hard right now and it's a break and I don't want to mess up their break. So I'm going to be very respectful. If I see someone coming, you might see me like dash out a door. Hi, Bonnie. Nice to see you. So I think I might even go outside because I saw an actor who kind of likes to hang in this room. So I might, I want to show you this blue plant though, which is super cool. This is how we work on the floor. It's actually true. Kind of cool. So I'm going to head outside so that I'm not in anyone's way. First, I'm going to show you this. We did this last week, but they're working hard back there. You can hear them working on the set. And I'm just going to walk through here, and then we'll go outside. Kind of give you a glimpse because the set is even starting to, well, it's not the set, but the rehearsal room. Oh, awesome. Happens to be empty. So there's the bar. This is where we're rehearsing, but as you can see, we're on a dinner break, so everybody's gone. So it might work in here. So we'll start here, and then I'll get up if I end up being in the way. So there you have it. So this is one of the actors' notebooks. There's 3 females in the play. She calls them the Charlie's Angels. It's kind of cool. And they're Cher fans, and it's super sweet. Hey there, Ola, beautiful people. I think Ola is with a J, though, right? I don't know. How do you spell Ola? No, it's not. It's O-L-A. Oh, sorry. I don't know. Clearly, I don't know. I meant to turn the camera around. Did it end? No. Good. Are we still live? Good. I accidentally clicked finish instead of flipping the camera around. A little bit tired. Just a bit tired. Kind of see it. Feels a little weird in here, actually, but we'll see. So, welcome. And Doug and I went to a conference this weekend, so that's why you haven't seen me as active on the Facebook page, because we've been really busy learning new things and developing new stuff that we are going to present to you guys. I also wanted to show you again. But luckily I pushed cancel fast enough. So you've seen the prompt book. I've showed you this before. It's getting more full. So now it has, because I'm understudying 2 characters, the yellow is one character and the pink is a different one. And then the other colors are discovery lines. So that's a big scene with Jessie. And then these are big Tracy's, the other role. She's yellow. And so sometimes there they are together. I get to be schizophrenic as I practice. So it's coming together. And I've done my units, but I haven't filled them out yet. So as we rehearse, it definitely it continues to grow, and I'll continue to share how it develops. So kind of an actor's tool there. So I'll just let you look at the thing. So yeah, we went to a conference. It was fantastic, and we learned a lot, and we have a lot of cool things coming up. So I wanted to, hang on. Stop it. Shoot, what is going on? Sorry, I'm having some technical issues. I'm trying to turn the camera around. I accidentally got my tools this time. All right, so we'll just look at that, I guess. Okay, sorry. As you can see, I'm trying to get out of tools, which is why the picture keeps changing. There we go. I am proof that you do not need to be tech savvy to be a reader. So yeah, we had a great time, and it was fabulous, and they gave us a lot of good insight about cool things that we can do with you. So, for you. Cool things we can do with you. So nothing like live Facebook Live. So we are streaming these into YouTube now, so I want to make sure that we are succinct. It's a great start, right? That we say what we're going to talk about. So today we're going to talk about learning to make an ask, and that's what our topic is today. And I'm Carolyn J. Carpenter, if you don't know that, and Douglas Shaner is in the chat, and he makes comments while I yammer on. So basically today we are readers and we like to talk about the reading process, but it also comes down to finding projects. Being a reader is being an entrepreneur and making connections and finding projects to work on, and there's just so much more to it than reading a script that we'd like to do several different types of topics, and making an ask, okay, I'm going to get out of here, is a great one. So I'm going to head outside. Hang on. How are you? Good, good. So I'm going to head outside just so that I think what's happening is that people ran out to get their food. So I don't want you to look at me, and this is too much interesting stuff to look at. Let's go this way this time. So here's the break room. Actor. It's an actor. Seems to be that yesterday we had a puppy here, but not today. So let's come out here because I think we'll be less intrusive. Awesome. Okay. And it's a beautiful, sunny California day. So, yeah, I just don't want to, I want to be as inconspicuous as possible as I do this. So be very respectful, right? Kindergarten rules apply. Okay, so we're going to talk about making an ask today and how you ask for things and how you do that, because it is part of being an entrepreneur. It's definitely part of being a reader. As you meet people, as you know, as a writer or whatever, it definitely makes it so that you forgot about the train. Is that really loud? Let me know if it's super loud and I'll try to move away from it. Okay, so we move into the theater tomorrow, so that'll be cool. This is the rehearsal place, so we move into the theater tomorrow, so it'll be a different challenge tomorrow. So making an ask is really, really important. So I'm going to give you 3 things, Lord, to think about when you have an opportunity. And we talk a lot about, we have a whole nother thing on opportunity and opportunity ears, and what to do. Let me pass over here so I'm not in the way. How to find opportunity. That's a whole nother part of it. So once you have that opportunity, then it's about how do you make an ask that makes sense, and how do you handle yourself and all of that. There's many layers of this. But one of the reasons that we decided to do this topic is, one, you asked for it. You asked for it. Chachi last week, he said, hey, what else can we do? And he said, how about making an ask? So, oh, good, it's not too bad. So, yay. Your tin? What do you mean your tin? What? See all kinds of tin jokes. Sorry. So, you guys asked for it. So, here it comes. Here comes the trolley. There it goes. Okay. There we go. Okay. There it goes. Okay. I've learned how to flip the camera now. Did you notice that? So, is that you guys asked for it. And then, Barbara, you had that post about your opportunity that you had with the producer. So I thought, you know what, this is a good topic we can talk. And we also had an email from someone that had met someone pretty famous who's not a film producer, but is starting their own production company, of course, because that's what people do once they have money and they don't have anything else to do. They make movies because, you don't need to know how to make movies. Sorry, it's one of my pet peeves. It's like athletes that become actors. You don't see me retiring from acting and picking up a basketball. Okay, sorry. It's just, there's more to it than that. Anyway, settle. Actually, I have a line that goes, settle. It's perfect. So we thought we would talk about this. So because we got this email, and he was saying he met someone pretty famous who's moving into movie land, and they met like at a casual thing, like at a barbecue or something. When he originally contacted me and asked some questions, I thought he was meant, the guy actually said to him, I'm looking for projects, but no, they just met like casually. So I very much said, no. If you meet Steven Spielberg, it wasn't Steven Spielberg, but if you meet Steven Spielberg at a barbecue, you don't pitch him your project the next day. You maybe stay in touch with him and you talk to him about whatever it was, you talked about. I don't know what he's into. I know he bought his wife a Fabergé egg. But, you talked about something besides movies that he might be into, and then you can start a conversation about that. But to pitch someone that you casually meet, not a good idea. So those of you that follow us might know that I am a wicked Evan Pagan fan. He's a marketer. I work with James Cameron, Richard Dreyfuss. I get all verklempt over Evan Pagan. I know I need help. But at this event, his wife was there, right? And I was like, ooh, I even texted Doug, it's Evan Pagan's wife. And then I thought I had my screen reader mug. So I've done a couple posts you guys might have seen, but we've been posting with the mug instead of me. Thought that was funny. And so we decided, here come actors. Okay, wait, we have to say hello. Well, we will as they come up. So I actually asked Doug, should I give her the mug? And he was like, yes. And then I was like, no, it's with an E, dude. Sorry. Such a geek. Such a geek. Okay, wait. See. Actors in the wild. Sorry. More actors in the wild. Look how they're bonding. Cute. Okay, sorry. So they don't know what I'm doing. Some of them do now, as I get to know them a little bit. Some of them do. They're like, why does she go outside once a week and talk to herself? What's that about? Anyway, so I was like, should I give her the mug? I even cleaned it out. Maybe I'll give it to her. And then all I could think about were friends that I have that are married to celebrities that absolutely hate it when someone comes up to them and goes, could you give your spouse this thing? And so I didn't do it. So classic. Yeah, there you go, Evan. So yeah, it was a little, and so I never even talked to her because I'm like the other. So okay, that was my geeky fan story. But it is. But I did want to be respectful of that, and I just know that at some point we'll meet in a different way that's kind of better. Get out. Okay, say hello. Okay, I'm on a Facebook Live with my students.
Hi. Hey, students.
Actors in the wild. Woohoo!
Coming back with the tacos.
Woohoo! Okay. You're not really my students. I didn't know what to call you. They don't know gatekeepers. Okay, so 3 things. First, I didn't do it though. Did not do it. The first thing when you're thinking about, and you're in a situation where you have an opportunity and that you want to meet someone, and you maybe let them know what you're doing or whatever it might be, is you need to be ready. You need to be ready. And that might sound sort of, oh, come on, I'm ready. No. You need to be ready. So if they say to you, yeah, fine, come move to wherever this production is, you can go, okay, and you can pick it up and go. You don't, because if you put yourself out there and you say, I want to do this and I want to do that, and then they say yes, and then you go, that's terrible. Don't do that. I feel a little bit strongly about that. Another trolley. This is going to be a long Facebook Live, sorry. So you need to be, yes, like Doug says, you need to be ready. You need to have your ducks in order. And okay, screen readers, here comes a quiz. You guys should know the answer to this when you're in a pitch fest. Exactly. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. It is so that's a really good example. I can't see the whole thing, Barbara, but yeah, most people are very gracious because they understand that that's part of the whole thing. And I'm sure his wife would have been wonderful and very gracious in this scenario as well, but I just didn't want to put that on her, put her in that scenario. So, and I honestly don't go through that with many, there are some celebrities obviously, but it's a different thing to me. So, it's just, never mind. I'm not going to go down the heaven pagan why, my why. But anyway, so this, and I talk about this in Pitch Fest, because what happens in a Pitch Fest is you pitch your script. You're not ready to pitch your script if your script isn't ready, Teresa, is basically my answer for that. Don't pitch it yet until it's ready. That's that in general. Sometimes you might, and again, one thing I really want to preface all of this with is it's very case by case by case, very much a case by case scenario. So anyone who says this is the way you do it, this is the way it is, that's what I say to them, pshaw, because it is very case by case, and there is no one way, and that's their one way. If they say that, if they think it's like this, then that's their one way, and there's a bajillion other ways that you can do it. You might end up meeting someone and you tell them your script, and you can say you're working on it, you can say it's in production, you can say it's whatever. If you're at a pitch fest pitching, they're going to assume that script is ready and that you want to give it to them. But if you're in a casual situation where you happen to meet someone, you can tell them projects you're working on that aren't ready. So it is case by case. But in general, if you are there to pitch a script, that script is ready. Because what's the first question they're going to answer? They're going to ask you, guys, screen readers, what are the producers going to ask you? I'm going to give you some time with that. So, and this I'm speaking as, so if you do a pitch fest and you tell a producer all about your project, and then, you kind of they get to whether or not this is something they want to take a look at or not, they have a question that they typically ask. And so I want to see if the screenreaders can come up with it and not you, Doug. So, and so you want to make sure that you're ready. And I've had many scenarios of, I've taken pictures where then I say, oh yeah, give me that script. And they go, I don't have it. And that's really, really common. And so I've also had, and I was going to start with all of this, but I want to kind of go off on a little tangent here. You're close. You're super close. But that is generally that. Kenyon, is that you? See new? Who are you? I don't know that I've seen you. And I think there might be a Staples gift card in there for you. Are you a screen reader? Because if you are, I haven't seen you in the screen reader group. So, yes, they basically will ask, what else you got? What else you got? That's going to be their next question. Let me get out of the way here. Go in the corner. I want to get out. Actors coming out because they're smoking. So maybe I'll prevent them from smoking. That would be good. Sorry. I was trying to stay out of his way because usually he goes over here. Let me see if anybody's back here now. It's locked. Never mind. He seems okay. Yeah, that's the next thing that they'll ask is, what else do you have? What else are you doing? Because they want to see that you're a writer. They don't want to just see that you, have one script. And those of you that sit there and go, this is my script, you can't have it. Did you like that impersonation? It's awful. But yeah, you don't want to be that guy. So one of the reasons too that we wanted to talk about this is we get a lot of this particular stuff in the group that I'm about to say. A lot of people say things like, why aren't you just giving me scripts? Where are my scripts? Where do I get my scripts? Give me my scripts. Aren't you just going to get me a job? Can't you just tell me where the jobs are? Where are the jobs? Show me the jobs. Can't you show me? Can you introduce me to a producer? And my all-time favorite is, can't you just get me a job without a lot of hassle? My favorite. No. And the reason that we are not, for one, a job referral site, but the reason that we don't say, oh yeah, here everybody, go submit to this person and that person and this person and that person is because we don't know if you're ready. And we don't want you to say to them, oh yeah, Gatekeepers said that I should submit to you, and then you get there and you don't know what inciting incident is. We need to know that you know what you're doing before we launch you into the world. So that's why we do give you opportunities for you to apply to things, and we're all about that. We're seeing people sharing projects, which I love. Chase is jamming with his music. Get the microphone up. Maybe that'll help with the trolley. I love that projects are being shared. All of that's great, and you can represent yourself in that regard. So, but if you get an opportunity to meet someone that has some significant, pull, you want to make sure that you're ready. Number 2 within that is that you need to know what you want. So you need to have your intention set. If you're in a situation where you are going to meet with someone, or you're heading to a conference, say, or you're going to know that you're going to be at a networking event, you need to kind of know, okay, what is my intention here? What am I trying to do? Am I trying to just get someone to read my script? And that said, there can be very different levels from that. So like, we are reaching out to people to come into the Facebook group and give, how much do you want for the couch? We want to get producers and people to come onto our podcast, to come into this group. We have a lot of different asks. So it's very, again, case by case. And a lot of the times we will kind of say, here's the things that we're doing. What is best for you? Which will bring me to 3 in a second. But in general, when I go in, I set an intention before every meeting. This is where we're at, this is where we're heading, this is what we need, and then be flexible within that. I might say, hey, we're thinking this, and then they go, oh no, we're doing that. And I go, oh, well, that's kind of cool. You need to also be flexible. So, so you definitely want to know what you're going into. Martha Stewart looking like the whole squad ran her down. Okay. Not sure what you mean, Travis. I'm sorry, I'm not very hip to the lingo. So it's definitely, you want to know, you want to be ready so that if they do offer you the internship, or they do read your script, or they do whatever, you've got it, you're ready, you know what your next step is. You want to know what you're going in for, why are you there, what is your intention, what do you want to gain, what are you looking to do? And then three, my lord, and really the most important is please He's like, for all that is whatever, I beg of you. For everything, don't do this. No, don't, or do know who you're talking to. Don't go up to someone and get it wrong. Don't go up to someone, hey there. Don't go up to someone and say, hey, you were great in that movie, and then it's the wrong movie. Don't go up to a producer and say, I really want to intern here, and then you find out that they do horror films, and you hate horror films. Just don't do that. Okay, we're getting out of hand over here. I don't know what you guys are talking about, but I'm just going to keep on keeping on. So those are kind of the three things. You want to make sure that you are ready, that you know what you want, and that you know who you're talking to. So you know who the producer is, and you know what they're looking for, you know what they're doing, you know what you're going to ask them. So if you are reaching out to a producer, if you want to just reach out to, I'm just going to ignore you guys. Okay, yeah, it's out of hand. So we'll just keep going, and then we'll just kind of boot you out of the Facebook group. Hope that's cool, because we're here about reading, we're here about writing. That's what we're talking about. So I don't know what y'all are, whatever, but whatever. We're just going to move on. So those are kind of the three things that you need to look for, and you want to make sure that you understand what that producer is looking for. So Barbara, let's talk about your specific example. Since you're here, gives me a chance to give you a little bit of feedback. So I saw your post. Okay, this is actually a really good example, and thank you so much for sharing it, because we were at the conference, right? And I saw your post, and we were really, really busy, which producers are really, really, really busy. So they're not going to take a lot of time to look at it. And the post itself, and I'm guessing that this was not the case with the email, because the post itself was one long sentence with no punctuation, so it made it really hard for me to even know. I just kind of had to look at it, and then I got a little bit confused because you put the documentary on there. I'm assuming that's his documentary that you were hoping to get. Okay. So this is an example of upstaging. Remember we talked about that last week? This is an example of upstaging, and this is an example of how you find people that you're going to get out of your Facebook group. So definitely spelling and all that's important, and I saw that you noticed that. So, but the other thing about that I kind of wanted to give you feedback on is that I wasn't sure if you were involved in that, because at one point you said you put our production, so I wasn't sure if you were involved in some kind of collaboration already with his production company. I didn't quite get it. But that aside, the point I want to make with it was not whether or not I got your post. The point I want to make it with it is that make sure that you're really concise, because producers are super busy, and we see this all the time where people will go, especially now with posting, people will go, hey, did you see that? And then the other person will go, oh yeah, so I don't know what that was, and they'll move on. So we want to make sure that you're super focused on what it is that you are presenting. And then the other thing that goes with that is to look within his company and see what is it that he needs, so that you know who you're talking to. You already had a pretty clear idea of who you were talking to, but you could look at his website, you can look at his, go through all of his stuff, and you might even say something like, hey, I saw that you don't have an Instagram account for your company. Maybe I could do that for you. If you give them like some concrete thing where you see a gap in something they might need, that gives them that answers all those questions, because you could go in and tell them how great you are and how hard you work and how much you want this and all of that. But if you're going in taking action like that, that really like sums all that up in one thing, to where you're just taking action, and that shows that you work hard, that you're diligent, all of the things that you're wanting to, rather than, again, show don't tell, right? We talk about that with screenplays. Same thing applies with the ask. So rather than telling them how incredible you are, say, here's what I think that I can help with on your production, and then look at the production and see maybe where the gaps are. I mean, you've been on some sets, it looks like, so kind of get a feel for that. So I hope that makes sense. So I think that's it for this week. I think we're going to go ahead and move on to next week. We're going to clean up our Facebook group a little bit, and then we'll come back with people that are really serious about the reading process, the writing process, people that want to be here to actually learn, and then we'll come back next week and we'll do even more cool stuff. So I hope that makes sense, and I hope that that helps you out, and so you can thank you so much for sharing that example, and I'm not sure where you are with it, But so sorry, all right. So we will talk to you soon, and we'll see you next week. Thanks, guys.